It's December. In England it's wet and cold and miserable. So we thought, oh, let's go to California where it's going to be sunny and warm, beautiful. We're here. Look at it. The weather in California was worse than it was in England, and the temperature was lower as well. So we decided to come to Las Vegas, where we've rented a motorhome. We know it's ours because it's got our name on it. There's only one thing left to do. Head off in it. My favourite lady companion and I, we're not too keen on big commercial campsites. They're just too busy and hectic and, well, organised. We like places like this. This is Lake Mead campsite. It's in a national park and it's located about 50 miles east of Las Vegas. What do you get on a campsite like this? Well, the big deal is peace and quiet. You also get a fantastic view of Lake Mead, which, as you probably know, is the 16th largest man-made lake in the whole world, so we're really excited about that. As for facilities, you get a tap, it's called a faucet in American. You get a fire pit for outdoor cooking and a strategically placed bench and seats. I say strategically placed because it's under a tree to give you some shade in the summer when it can get very, very hot indeed. Right now it's December the 24th, and although it's not boiling hot, it's just perfect, particularly when you're standing in the sun. What else do you have? Well, a great view. You just have to drive a few miles off one of the interstates in America and you can end up in places like this, Chloride. This used to be a thriving mining town of about 3,000 people where they dug out lead, zinc, silver and a bit of gold from the mountains up there. Now the mines are all closed and there's only a few hundred people here. And frankly, there's not an awful lot going on. But they do manage to keep themselves busy. There's a lot of arty people here doing stuff like this, which is all on public display at the side of the road. Someone even decided to walk about 2.5–3 miles up this track and paint all these pictures on the rocks. Although parts of the town really are very run down, you can still get a real sense of how life was in American small towns a few years ago and in many places even now. And of course, even the smallest town has to have a restaurant where maybe, if you're lucky, you'll find some evening entertainment. Western style. Letters from people I don't even know. Offers coming over the phone. Here we are, it's Christmas Day, happy Christmas. We're in a place called Seligman where we stopped last night because we were really tired and it was dark and horrible. We didn't realise when we parked up at the back of this Chevron petrol station that we were 50 yards from the railway line, and every few minutes a railway train came past. Each train took about a minute to go through, and there were at least 3 an hour. Then, about 3 o'clock in the morning, there was an ice storm. It was like being bombarded by billiard balls. So here we are now, we're going to celebrate with a breakfast. Look, here's a train now. Despite all that, we had a great night's sleep. And now we're going to celebrate Christmas by switching on the generator built into this van and using our electric toaster to make toast for Christmas breakfast. We had to rent this at an additional cost of $15, and I'm really looking forward to my toast. This was worth every penny. So we finally made it. We're here at the Grand Canyon and it's snowing. It's about -3 degrees. And apparently it's going to snow a lot more this evening. It's going to be, well, it's going to be up to about here. But we're okay. We've got our pitch. We're comfortable. And I'll tell you what, at least we're not in a tent. When you come to America, you expect to see a different kind of RV. Look at this. This is a demountable, but it's the biggest one I've ever seen in my entire life. Not only is the demountable huge, with, look, a slide out, but look at the actual van, or the truck, as you'd say here, that's pulling it. It's got a diesel engine, a 3.5 litre turbo diesel. That is a lot of power. But you're going to need it, of course, because look what they're towing. They've got a huge trailer back here and a massive Jeep with great big wheels and all kinds of stuff on it. It's amazing. But in territory like this, and these people go way out into the wilds, you really do need something like this to deal with these pretty rugged conditions. It's down to about -6 degrees now. They've got a fire down there. That's where I'm going next. Well, this is a lot better being down here. Oh, it doesn't actually feel very hot, but that's because it's so cold. Now, let's find out what these people are doing here. What are your names?
I'm Jennifer House. Jennifer House.
Jennifer. And?
Steve House.
Jennifer and Steve, why are you here at the Grand Canyon in the freezing cold? It's -6. I mean, is this fun or what?
This is awesome. We actually looked forward to coming out here for a white Christmas.
You just came here for a white Christmas?
Absolutely. We were heading to Utah and decided to make a left turn and come here.
But the roads up Utah are a bit worse than this, aren't they?
Yes, they are. That's why we stayed an extra night here.
They're actually closed up there.
The roads to Utah are closed, yes.
Oh, but you're quite happy you're going to go there tomorrow?
Yes.
If the roads are open. Oh. Steve, tell me about your rig. What is it? I mean, it's a Dodge, I know that, but it's absolutely massive. Is this kind of as normal as you buy it in a rig showroom?
In America? It's a 1-ton dually. Dually, 2 rear wheels on the back.
Oh, right, yep.
It's a 1-ton dually diesel pickup. It'll carry, well, it'll pull and carry about 30,000 pounds.
Which is, what, the weight of the actual demountable bit?
No, that camper weighs about 4,000, so it'll carry another 25,000 pounds.
Of course, we don't do pounds in England. We do tons and things. I always get confused with pounds.
What do you divide it by 3?
I don't know what the hell you do, but you just, I don't know, I'm very confused.
It'll pull a big, huge trailer with a big backhoe tractor on the trailer.
But a truck, 24,000 pounds is like what a truck pulls.
Yeah, like a tractor trailer. Yeah.
That's insane.
Well, it makes it easy to get around.
And is it good in this kind of weather, in these kind of conditions?
Yeah. It's so heavy.
It just sinks through the snow, right down to the earth.
Yep, and it goes.
I think that's what we might need. We had a real problem actually getting in here just now, and there's only about that much snow.
Yeah.
Still, we'll see how we go. That smells good. I'll leave you to get on with it.
Okay, thank you.
Can I go and stand by your fire again?
Have at it.
You mind if I just stay there?
Go right ahead.
Thank you so much. While Steve and Jennifer are out there in the snow enjoying themselves in a temperature that's now approaching -10, we've turned the heating up inside. We've got corn chips, we've got festive Christmas lights, and we've got a nice bottle of wine. Cheers! Well, we did it. We survived. It got down to about -20 degrees Celsius last night. That's as cold as I've ever experienced, I think. And now the sun's out and it's warming up nicely. It's almost up to -10. Now, my favourite female companion has told me that this is just not what she was hoping for on this particular holiday. She wants to go somewhere warmer. Well, I know that 400 miles roughly west of here is Death Valley, which at certain times of the year can be the hottest place on earth. Sounds great. But before we go there, I'm all togged up, got my tweed jacket, and we're going to go and have a quick look at the Grand Canyon. Las Vegas is on the way from Grand Canyon to Death Valley. And of course, if you like entertainment, well, Las Vegas is the only place to be. However, my favourite female companion and I, well, we're not too keen on the bright lights and the glitter. We prefer something like this. The scenery here is so spectacular that it is a real effort to keep my eyes on the road. It's only about 59 degrees Fahrenheit here today, but that's still a lot warmer than it was at the Grand Canyon. But this is actually the place that holds the record for the highest temperature recorded on Earth, 134 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 56 degrees centigrade. And that's not all that's remarkable about this place, Badwater in Death Valley. It's also the lowest place in the Western Hemisphere at 282 feet below sea level, which is all a bit scary considering that we're actually only about 300 miles from the Pacific Ocean. Just imagine. We spent the past couple of nights here at the Texas Springs campsite in Death Valley. It's a national park campsite, which means that it's really basic. There are actually hardly any facilities at all. And you can't use your generator, which means that it's really quiet and peaceful. And it's a good time to actually show you this motorhome, the Winnebago Travato. Let's start off on this side. Here we've got water tank filling. There's an 80-litre water tank, which is pretty big for this size of van. And there are actually two inputs, as you can see. One of them is just for filling up the tank, The other here is labelled City Fill. And some campsites actually have a system whereby you can connect permanently to the water supply. You just never have to fill the tank, it's just always coming in. Down here we've got the LPG gas filler. There's a 22 litre tank slung underneath, which is great. It means you don't have to swap bottles around, faff about like that. You just go to a petrol station, or of course a service station over here, and a lot of them have LPG facilities and they just fill it up for you. You're not allowed to do it yourself. Up here we've got an input for a campsite TV system, and then we've got mains electric there. And now, oh look, let's have a look in here. Even this size American motorhome tends not to use cassettes for the toilet waste. They have dump tanks. Of course, you've got to empty it, and where do you keep the hose? Well, right here. Almost every campsite in America, including the ones in the national parks, have dump stations where you can also usually fill up with fresh water as well. And that's where you bring out the hose. And this is what you do. You connect the hose, and you then release the contents of the black tank. There they go. Ooh. A nice clean empty there. And cleverly, the water from the grey tank connects to the same outlet, so that when you then close the black tank off and empty the grey tank, all the grey water flushes out all the black stuff. Then, having strategically repositioned the van, we move over to the other side of the dump station, connect up our hose to the potable water supply, nip round here and connect to here. We then turn on the tap and off she goes. It's all neat, it's clean, it's quick, and it's dry. When it's full, it'll start leaking underneath from the special outlet valve. I hope I'm doing this right. It's not going to explode or anything, is it? I think I'll get over by the tap just in case. We haven't even used much water. We've only been making tea. Come on! I just know that the whole thing is going to explode. Fortunately, we've emptied the brown tank. Oh, here it comes. Look. Yes. Tap off. Water tank full. Result. As if by magic. On this side we have some 110 volt outputs, mains of course. In here, 12 volt socket and another socket for the TV to come out so that you can watch TV outside. Oh, what fun! And of course speakers so you can listen as well. Oh, they know how to have fun, these Americans. On top, we've got an electric awning. That's really good. We've also got an 80 watt solar panel which is fitting the batteries. Nice touch. Full aircon and a very effective max fan which you can use to either extract air from inside the motorhome or bring cool air in. It's really economical on power and it's very, very efficient. Right, I think it's time to have a look inside. There's an electric step Always good. But where's the switch? Well, it's down here, which is not the ideal place to have it. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this later on. Under here we've got the water tank, 80 litres, enough to keep you going for quite a while. And in fact this whole seating area turns into a sleeping area as well. So in theory you can actually have 4 people sleeping in here. That would be a bit of a tight squeeze as far as I'm concerned. But it's nice to know it can be done. Let's look down the back. This is the sleeping area, more commonly known as the bed. You've probably seen it before in hundreds of different European panel van conversions. It folds up during the day so that you can put bags, bikes, anything you like underneath. Really practical and very, very comfortable. The toilet, shower, the washing area is compact, as of course you would expect, but there's plenty of room to do what you need to do. One nice touch that I really like is that the little lockers are the sort of thing you find on boats. They've got rubber seals, which means that they're completely watertight. So if you have a splash about in the shower, everything stays dry. There's a bit of storage overhead as well. Unfortunately, they don't have the rubber seals. Well, kind of everything. Let's look out here at the kitchen area. Just close that off. Now, Americans like to cook outdoors. They have barbecues and great big fires with huge logs and things. They're not that keen on cooking inside, apart, of course, from when they're using a microwave. So facilities here are fairly compact and basic. You've got a couple of gas burners, a small sink. No preparation area at all, which is a shame because you could so easily have had a flap here like many British-built motorhomes. I mentioned the microwave. You can only use this, of course, when you've got either mains hookup or the generator running. There's a really nice fridge, but again, it's the sort of thing you find in many European motorhomes now. Plenty of room and a detachable freezer, so that if you'd rather keep beer cool than keep peas frozen, you just whip it out. As for heating, it's fitted with a Truma combi boiler system, exactly the same thing as you'd get in Europe. And it has worked very well indeed. We have not frozen to death, which is good. The seating area is, well, I've been in seats like this hundreds of times before. It's all very nice, nice table, what can you say? What you don't often see is a television in this position. And it's fairly obvious why, because it's a totally ridiculous place to put it. The only place you can watch television from is the 2 front seats, and even then you have to be looking up like that and getting a stiff neck. They've devoted the same amount of space to the radio as they have to the television, which is great, except that, well, I'll come to that again a little later. Behind me, you've got all the controls. You've got a solar regulator here, the generator controls here, Truma here, and here you've got the water pump switch, and you've got little gauges showing you how much gas, how much water, and how much power you've got in your batteries. It's all quite easy to use, it's quite good, but it's a bit big, isn't it? It's a bit big. As you can see, this is all a standard Fiat Ducato layout. Nothing to see here, except for one thing, and even that you've got to listen to. Listen to this. Country music, and it's coming to us on satellite radio. Now, we don't have this in Europe, but they've got it in America. It's amazing. It means that wherever you go, even to the most remote corner of the most remote desert, you can get a choice of hundreds of different radio stations, most of which are music. But hey, if it's music like this, it's good enough for me. Yeehaw! So far, so good. This is a really nice motorhome. There's no getting away from it. But there's also no getting away from the fact that there's some, well, sloppiness going on here. The people at Winnebago really haven't thought about certain things. And these certain things are really annoying me. Most annoying thing is that radio. You can only listen to it when you're actually driving along, when the ignition's on. Otherwise, you've got to listen to the AM/FM radio up there, which of course in a place like this doesn't receive any signal. And if there was a signal, you wouldn't want to listen to it. The radio here is rubbish. And if it wasn't, you can only listen to it here. There are no speakers down towards the bed. There are some out here. Why do you want to listen to the radio outside? I just don't get this. And then there's this switch for the step. Why put it there? Any normal person would put it there. It's obvious, but apparently not to the people at Winnebago. Such a small bit of silliness, but really annoying. There are other things too. Up there are sockets which enable you to plug in a USB lead so you can charge your phone. There's one in the bed area as well, but it's at the foot of the bed. So if you want to use your phone, you actually have to almost get out of bed to reach it. It's ludicrous. The lighting in this motorhome is excellent. It's all LED and it's really nicely laid out and designed, except for one thing. There are reading lights at the bed, which is great, but you can only switch them on when you're in bed. And you can't switch the main lights off when you're in bed. So you either have to turn off the main lights and get into bed and then turn on the reading lights, in which case you're going to bang your head on the overhead lockers, or you're going to have to leave the main lights on, get into bed, turn the reading lights on, and then get out of bed to turn the main lights off. I mean, who thought of that arrangement? But there's one thing that has really almost ruined my holiday, and it's this. Right, what is this? 3 guesses. Is it a piece of old sacking that we just found underneath the van when we picked it up? It looks like it. It's really horrible. It's probably got animals living in it. It's disgusting. It feels bad. It looks bad. It is bad. It takes up loads of storage space. But what it actually is one part of the system that you need to use at night for keeping out the light and keeping you warm, insulating you. It works with a combination of magnets and gravity, and it's really appalling. Absolutely the worst type of blind I've ever seen in my life. This van cost about $80,000. Why couldn't they put proper blinds on? This is driving me insane. Now, apparently, the Travato is currently Winnebago's best-selling model, which is really surprising because when you say Winnebago, you think of a vehicle 2 or 3 times this size. But of course, a smaller motorhome has lots of advantages. Like when you're trying to park, for example. There it is. The Winnebago Travato. I've only got 2 more things to say about it. 1, why did the man or woman who attached this 110 volt socket set here not put it on straight? Look at that. That's outrageous. You're fired. Number 2, have we had a great time?
Yes.
Yes! Would we do it again? Yes!
Well, maybe.
Right, that's a big yes then. Winnebago Travato? Good one.